Greetings, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Aini, and today I will be discussing human development, specifically presenting a creative visual representation of this topic in relation to early childhood in my own social and cultural context, which in this case is my home country, the Marshall Islands. Let's begin by looking at the early childhood stage, which spans from the ages 2 to 6. And during this stage is very crucial for the development of thinking abilities, emotional understanding, and social skills. Some of the key milestones in this period include language development, where children expand their vocabulary, follow stories, and begin forming complex sentences. Another essential milestone is learning through play, which supports physical development, helps children explore their environment, and improves coordination. And culture plays a significant role in shaping these developmental experiences. In Western cultures like those of the US, children are often encouraged to be independent early on, making their own choices about clothing or whatever activities they want to do. Whereas in the Pacific Island cultures, learning is more collective. Children gain knowledge through observation, imitation, and guidance from their community members. This slide focuses on my perspective, my perception on human development in socio-cultural context. But to begin, I'd like to define human development, and that refers to the ongoing process of changes throughout a person's life. From my observations and personal experiences, not only is my home country a community-based society, but so are many cultures throughout the Pacific Islands. Our way of life revolves around family, village, religious, and cultural traditions. Human development is deeply shaped by our culture because it influences how we interact within our own member groups, learn languages, and grow. And togetherness is at the heart of our communities. And through cultural norms and social structures, our practices guide us, helping us navigate through life and to build resilience. Now let's take a look at Les Vygotsky, the psychologist behind the theory of social development. So, the socio-cultural theory proposed that learning occurs on two levels. First, at the social level, where children interact with others, and later at the individual level, where they internalize and apply what they have learned after certain social interactions. At the social level, children engage with a more knowledgeable other, MKO. This is someone with more experience on certain topics, such as a parent, teacher, or older sibling. And these interactions serve as the foundation for acquiring new skills and knowledge. A key concept in his theory is the zone of proximal development. This is the gap between what a child can do independently and what they can achieve with assistance. And in figure 3, it visually represents this idea. In yellow, we can see task a learner can complete without help. In light blue, we see task a learner can accomplish with guidance, which is significantly larger than the yellow section. In dark blue, we see tasks beyond the learner's ability, even with help. So this visualization reinforces that learning happens best within the ZPD, where children with the right amount of support can bridge the gap between their current abilities and future skills. For example, if a 2-year-old struggles to carry a plate full of food or read a book alone, but gradually succeeds with the parents' help, they are working within their ZPD. And this step-by-step support is known as scaffolding. Whether it's through verbal cues, demonstrations, or little bits of encouragement, it all contributes to how children learn. And in early childhood, scaffolding is essential because they're constantly learning, and this theory shows why family, teachers, and whoever are so important in making sure that they reach these developmental milestones. The three main ideas of Vygotsky's theory: number one is development happens through change. So he believed that the best way to understand how the mind works is to study how it evolves over time, by arguing that development is shaped by both the environment and the individual, meaning people influence the world just as much as the world influences them. Number two, learning starts socially. So, according to him, all higher thinking skills develop through social interactions, and he identified two types of mental functions. One, lower mental functions, such as reflexes, which is inherited, and two, higher mental functions, such as reasoning and problem solving, which is developed through interactions from others. So, first we learn from those around us, then we internalize that knowledge and make it our own. And language play a really big role in this process as children progress from speaking out loud to thinking internally. And number three, tools help with learning. He emphasized that learning is supported by tools such as books, symbols, technology, language. He believed that children learn best in a structured environment where they receive support from tools and guidance from MKOs to help them achieve or master new skills. Growing up in the Marshall Islands, human development during the early childhood is a process that's guided by role models, adult peers, authority figures, and they're all responsible for nurturing those children properly. Just like anywhere in the world, our development starts at home with our caregivers. They're the ones that provide for our needs, allowing us to grow physically and mentally. They are our first educators. They're the ones that teach us the language and my culture, they're our cultural way of life. And in figure 4, it shows an image of two women weaving handicraft baskets while a young girl watches them. This represents how, in the Marshall Islands, when some women choose to teach their daughters or granddaughters how to weave at such a young age, it represents how hands-on guided learning enables children to develop essential skills more quickly. And this aligns with the concept of MKO and scaffolding, where the elder woman provides support and gradually takes a step back as the young girl becomes more skilled in weaving. So this just highlights how much more effective learning is when children receive social guidance. And underneath that, figure 5 is a group of men who are performing a traditional dance. Although it may not be clearly visible, singers and chanters are playing instruments in the background. And this scene demonstrates how older generations, whether intentionally or not, pass down cultural traditions to the younger generations. For instance, during Christmas holidays and other major events, I have always observed groups of children learning traditional dances. And they don't just watch, they practice alongside older children and the adults there. But they do this step by step. And this social interaction not only helps them develop coordination and memory, but also reinforces cultural knowledge. And in addition to that, or furthermore, in many families, including my own, the younger children are first told what to do as part of their daily routines. However, they acquire essential skills such as preparing food, doing chores, selecting appropriate clothing, and they all do this by watching and imitating the adults. And whenever I visit my parents' Marshallese friends' houses, I noticed that their way of doing things was so much similar to how we did it in my own home. from a young age, children are taught their family's way of completing tasks, and once they have gained the necessary skills, they begin to perform them independently without any adult help. So, all of these experiences play such a crucial role in a child's development because through these cultural and social interactions, their minds begin to shape. They begin to form meanings, memories, values, and norms that they will carry out throughout their lives. So, to conclude, I'd like to explain why Vygotsky's theory is engaging and, and conclude. So, by studying about human development during this stage, using sociocultural context, we recognize aspects of our environment that contributes to our development. We we understand the differences between cultures and its influences on our cultural practices, and it in essence it learning about this theory and seeing how it applies to our own culture gives us a head start in understanding the best way to foster proper human development, especially if we want to become educators, caregivers, parents of young children. And so this theory is the most engaging than the other theories in Module 1 because it emphasizes the impact of learning with the role we put ourselves in. Unlike other theories that saw learning as an individual process, this theory resonates with interactions that we people of the Pacific relate to the most because they are rich in culture. Thank you very much for listening.